Good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome to It Came Out the Refrigerator. I am your narrator, Waking 314, and today we're going to continue with our series called Mutual Acts. Today we're going to address the elephant in the room. I like this one. We're talking about honesty. And we're talking about that way you can be honest between yourself, between your friends, between your coworkers. So here's 11 different ways of you can show honesty that will build that rapport between you and the people around you. And hopefully they'll do the same thing with you. So number one, admitting when you were wrong. Number two, which I find very important, choosing not to cheat. Following the rules, going through whatever you need to go through, going through all the steps to show everybody you're willing to do the same as everybody else. Saying you've had your fair share. So if you're supposed to get 2 pieces of pizza, you get 2 pieces of pizza. If that's all you're supposed to get, and that's all you're supposed to get. Speaking up when something upsets you. I know a lot of people confuse this with complaining, but there's sometimes you can say in a moment that you don't like something. You can say it at that moment, or you can wait and say it later. Saying an unpopular truth. Now, that does not mean you call people out and throw people under the bus or anything like that. But it does mean sometimes you got to point out what the obvious thing is, and that maybe it's not going to go the way that everybody thinks it goes. One of the ways we do this is called telling truth to power. Showing disappointment and emotions. Sometimes you got to let somebody just know that you're unhappy. And sometimes it's okay to say it didn't go the way you wanted it to go. Don't dwell on it, but you can let it know, let everybody know that it didn't go the way that you hoped it would go. Now, I love this one. Number 7, returning something that belongs to others. We've been talking about this all week in different places and different times about sometimes we find items or see items or own items, but the easiest thing to do is to take those items, give them to security, give it to somebody else, and give them back to whoever it belongs to. Number 8, sharing constructive feedback. It's one thing to go in there and say things didn't go the way they were supposed to go, but it's another thing to go in there with ideas of what you could have did or what we could do to fix it. It's another thing to go in there and say, hey, this is what I see is wrong. But it's always a good idea to go in there and say, hey, this is what we can do better, or this is a way to how to fix it. Or even when you're talking between two people, say, hey, I wouldn't have handled it that way. But if we want to make sure everybody is included, we can handle it this way in the future. Doing the right thing when you didn't have to. Whew. This is hard for a bunch of people. I don't know why, but picking up money when they see it fall and giving it back to that person. When you're in the grocery store and somebody makes a mistake counting out your change, pointing out to the cashier that maybe they gave you the wrong amount of change. Or when somebody gives you too many items or gave you the wrong items, just returning them. Just doing the right thing. Maybe you don't have to, but sometimes it's always a good thing to do it, right? You could possibly save somebody's job. Correcting a mistake that benefited you. Sometimes we don't look at this the right way. I don't know why. Sometimes we get a benefit for something we never did. One of the ways I look at it is at work. Sometimes I get credit for the fact that I am a coordinator instead of the person that actually did the work. So I always try to make sure I go back and say, hey, these are the people that did the work. These are the people we should be getting credit to. We should acknowledge. Or I try to send out an after email even after that, pointing out everything that somebody possibly did to help with something. Even small things like if the bank gives me too much money, I'm usually trying to make sure why that money's in my account. Oh, yeah, that's a hard one for us, I know, but it does help in the end when we're honest. And the last one, which I don't even understand this one, but I know what happens, not representing yourself on social media. I don't know why people seem to go out there and believe they have to live a better, more spectacular life than anybody else. And then they have to put on social media things that are just not true. Or even with a little hyperbole, right? They may be true with a little bit of extra added on there. It's not necessary. The fact that we are here, the fact that we have life, the fact that we have the ability to enjoy it is just beautiful. So being honest and showing those things between each other, it helps us level set. It helps us look at each other in a better way. So I hope we all, including myself, take these hints. Today's snack is a cookies and cream truffle. I found this to be quite interesting, and the design was actually exquisite. It was beautiful. It was hard for me to eat it, but I did. It was good. Oh, Willie the White Whale and his cousin watched me get down viciously on this cookies and cream truffle, and it was awesome. So, if you get a chance to get you one, please do. I found it delicious, and I hope you do the same. So, with that being said, please be safe. And I can only say it so many times, but I will always say it. Continue to be blessed. And remember, all are welcome here. Thank you.